Welcome to At Home with Music. I'm Leon Olguin. I just completed a 3-video series on some of the Beatles songs that were written on piano. I started with some of Paul McCartney's songs, and then we moved on to John Lennon's piano songs, and then finally we got to the songs of George and Ringo. My dog is with me down here in the studio, and she's deciding whether or not she wants to stay. Anyway, now it's time to own up to some omissions and errors that I made. And even after this video is posted, there still may be some mistakes that I left unaddressed. However, I am grateful to all of you knowledgeable Beatles fans who have alerted me to these things. Now, first of all, I obviously left out several Paul McCartney piano songs. I even mentioned this on the video. I said that this list was not and could not be exhausted. Exhausted? Exhaustive. Well, it would have been exhausting, because if I had tried to cover all of Paul McCartney's piano-based songs, it would have been a very long video indeed. But there were certain songs that I could have talked about, and some of them that I wish I had included. For example, the song For No One from the Revolver album, which was written on a clavichord or a piano. Very sparse, elegant song. I could have included that one. Or a song like Your Mother Should Know from the Magical Mystery Tour. From what I've been able to find out, that one was written on harmonium and piano. Or what about Obla-Dee, Obla-Da? Even though John Lennon ended up playing piano on the recording, it was, I also believe, written on piano. Or You Never Give Me Your Money, which starts as a gentle piano ballad and moves into multiple musical sections. Maxwell's Silver Hammer, a bouncy music hall kind of song composed on piano. Maybe I left that one off because I don't particularly care for it. I can admire the craftsmanship that went into the writing, but I must admit it's not one of my favorites. But what about Oh Darling, composed and recorded with Paul on the piano? And I imagine that there are still some songs that I've left out. And of course, I didn't even try to delve into his solo career. And I believe that his piano playing, the harmonic sophistication of his playing, began to develop further. I remember during the 70s when Paul McCartney was right up there with Elton John as one of the most popular rock stars of the day. His concerts back then, and even up to this day, it features a Paul at the piano section. As for John Lennon, I made a few mistakes. I learned that Sexy Sadie was indeed written on guitar and then developed on piano by Paul McCartney. So I went back and this is what I should have done. I listened to some of the Escher demos, and there it was, Sexy Sadie, played on guitar. Strange chord progression and all. His section of A Day in the Life was most likely written on guitar. And of course, he plays the opening guitar chords on the recording. You know, it's funny how the various sources I used in preparing these videos often contradicted each other. Oh, to have been a fly on the wall when these songs were written. As for George Harrison, how could I have forgotten about Something being written on piano? I even mentioned the song in the video as I talked about the growth of Harrison's songwriting, but I should have included it as one of his piano songs. He wrote it on piano during the sessions for the White Album. Harrison himself said, and I should have included this in the video, I had written something on the piano during the recording of the White Album. There was a period during that album when we were all in different studios, doing different things, trying to get it finished. And I used to take some time out. So I went into an empty studio and wrote something. In fact, there's even a story about how during the first session for the song Piggies, Harrison was sitting beside George Martin's deputy, Chris Thomas. They were sitting together in front of a harpsichord, which had been left over after a classical recording. And so Harrison kind of broke off from what they were doing and played this new song called Something. And Chris Thomas reportedly said, "That's great. Why don't we do that instead?" But Harrison did not take that advice, and they went on to record Piggies, which unfortunately one writer referred to as a blot on his discography. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that assessment, by the way. I think it's a very clever song. But man, I hate it when I finish a video, edit it, put it up on YouTube, and then remember something or be reminded of something that I should have included. And definitely I should have talked about something as one of Harrison's piano songs. And I made a mistake when I said that Old Brown Shoe was the only George Harrison song that was found its origin on the piano. But nevertheless, I wanted to tell all of you who commented on these videos how grateful I am for your feedback. I'm always striving to make my videos more complete and more accurate. And I must stress that I am probably not the most knowledgeable Beatles historian out there. There are guys who know way more than I do about the Beatles, their history, their songs, and the everything that went on behind the scenes in the creation of the recordings. So some of you who have commented and have enlightened me and corrected my mistakes, just wanted to tell you in this short little video how much I appreciate that. Thanks for watching and for putting up with my errors and omissions. Try not to make too many of those, but if I do, I will always own up to it. And if there are any corrections to be made, you can be sure that I will make sure to make those corrections. I don't want to put out any information that turns out not to be true. I really care about music. I care about the artists, and I care about all of you out there who are watching my videos, that everything you learn will be useful, truthful, accurate, and from the heart. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.